Yeah, I took that diamond bar, but now I'm feeling absolutely swamped.
Well, that's nothing but making that high state. Do it. Like, let's do it. Hell yeah. I only got the, I don't know. I gotta grow another 6 people to do it. Yeah, we are all pretty stoned, so, try to stay on topic.
Limited, bro. My setup is ass right.
Okay. We'll forgive you. And
okay.
start the show just like that. Hey, what it do, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, Joint Effort, every Sunday, at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Guys, we love to see y'all here. Get here. We're going to have a very special episode. Dab that down below. Hit that 5 hundo. So that means that we got enough subs to give away a press to y'all. Guys,
Hell yeah.
God dang press. Like, one of them things that turn your flour into wax type stuff, like a press, like so you can press flour. That's pretty lit. It might be our best giveaway yet, homies, but that doesn't mean that we don't have great ones coming forward. So keep tuning in week after week after week. This week, though, we got ourselves a little bit of a smoke session going as usual. North Carolina hemp reviews. You want to talk about what you're smoking first?
Yes, sir. I got three things mixed into this bowl. I got some Tuscan gelato from Phenom, and I got some snowballs mixed in. So definitely got some fire today.
Ooh, Stony.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What about you, Dab Dab?
I am smoking on some gelato from a company I love. I reviewed these guys last year, Anchored Cannabis Company. They supply that CBD Plus store out here where I live. And this gelato, I had it last time. It was phenomenal. And this time it's just as good. But there's the lemon is coming through in a way I don't normally get in gelato. I usually get a real peppery dough. And that does have this, but there's a real citrusy lemon coming through this time that I've been really enjoying.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you, Jerry? What you blazing on?
So I packed up a bowl of the rest of the mango smalls from the original JK $50 ounce, but I did similar to North Carolina up there. I had some old, these are named diamond covered moon rocks, which really is just the same exact thing, and people have a million different names for these type of things.
Yes.
But I was trying to grind this up into the bowl. These ones very heavily covered in distillate. So I felt like that like weird hashy feeling when you're trying to break it apart, but then it was like a whole stringy like pull breaking it up. So I started throwing more and more flour on top of it to try to make it a little bit dry so I could actually malleate it. Is that the verb? I forget.
Make it malleable.
There you go.
There you go.
That make it malleable. And we did, but like you'll see, it's not gonna burn right. I mean, like I could have spent there and just kept tossing more and more flour on it. Like there's enough distillate on one of these things. You could probably dab one of these, to be honest. Like you could probably
nuts,
dab one of these.
That'd be crazy.
Might
I
need to
what
try
you
it.
I did
rolled
that
up in your
before.
hand.
I dabbed them like a normal moon rock. I had a nectar collector, and I just straight up dabbed the moon rock. That just smacked too. Kind of is all. It just smacked. It's not. I would not recommend it.
You end up with that little bit of flour at the end and a lot of
Yeah, you
cleaning on
definitely-
your rig,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could. You could dab some of these moon rocks.
That's wild.
Yo, we got Evan Perry also up here in the chat letting us know about JK having some new budget ounces. That's 2 companies dropping some awesome budget options this morning, it sounds like, because we were all just talking pre-show about we saw a different budget option going on. So
I don't know.
maybe we can start talking about that once we get to the deals. A little bit of motivation to stick around for y'all. But what's up to Kiffy as well there in the chat? How are you doing today, man? I hope you're having a blessed morning.
I wonder if you could, we were talking about moon rocks. I wonder if you could make something called like moon pebbles, and it's essentially mini flowerless moon rocks. Like if you could somehow like have like diamond distillate that's cold enough to where you could manipulate it into a ball and then roll it in isolate. So it's just a salt, and that you could dab. Imagine one of those little pebbles popping that right in your rig, especially if there's
somebody
chirps
needs to
involved.
make moon rock smalls. Let's get small. They too nasty. They too geeky. I don't want no fat ass. And it's
I
not.
don't want to use 3 gram.
It looks all cool
Right.
and all.
It looks cool. Right.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's not.
It's
Economical.
not really covered unless you have minis covered.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like,
I get that.
Minis would be like they'll break down way better. You know
Oh,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
You would damn near be able to just like
Just
roll
put it in
up,
the
just
bowl and
scrape that.
yeah, right. Depending how small
Like-
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, like it would just be a way better experience.
Or I wonder if you did it with like not shake, but like halfway between shake and smalls. You know, like a small nug kind of
Popcorn
broken
nugs.
down a bit. Yeah, and had popcorn nugs and had that. Man, that'd be wild.
That'd be a good way to ensure you got enough disty and enough diamond
yeah.
or keef onto each of them.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be huge, guys.
Yeah, right. Y'all want to take this hit?
Let's
Do a little
take it,
cheers.
you know.
All right, cheers everybody in the chat. Hope you're smoking on something good. Cheers. Ooh, ganja bear, that's looking nice.
That
I
fat.
don't even. Well, we were trying to turn a. It was a little block before. We're trying to turn it into a ball. Did y'all some Play-Doh? I could turn it right back into a block. That's crazy.
When I talk about constantly moon rocks, though, are they worth it, or are they just kind of like a fun, every once in a while thing? You know,
In my opinion,
Yeah,
not that.
they definitely are like if you bro every day if you want moon rocks every day, honestly, we have bigger things to be worried about because if you like that flavor that much, oh my gosh.
Well, and and if you're looking for the best version of that type of an experience, you're much better off taking some decent flour and then popping some decent concentrate, like some crumble or something on top, and then melting that into your flour. That's a tasty day, right
You're gonna
there.
be going broke trying to cop like just like if you
or
only like
take the
and
dabs
you
in the
literally
long run.
can't only toke moon rock. It's
Yep.
impossible. They burn way too slow. It's way too much going on. You know what I'm saying? So like, they definitely are just every once in a while thing. Same way as some hash or something like this. You don't want this every day, but it's nice every once in a while. And
Like
when
how
you
it's a
get it, you
cube.
don't need this entire ball. You don't need this. You just need a little slither. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I love topping a flour bowl with a little bit of concentrate. That's a nice day, you know? Absolutely.
It's like if you had to press just like what Dab Dad's giving away, you could press that.
You could do it
hash.
yourself, literally, guys. You could have the beauty of fresh pressed live rosin dabs in your own home. And let me tell you, there is nothing like a fresh dab off the press. The flavor, you'll damn near be in tears the first time. It's unreal.
Right?
Imagine trying one of your favorite strains and
Yeah,
press
right?
from Dab Dad, and be able to press it. You're gonna fall in
yeah.
love.
Oh, yeah.
And on the flower top
Absolutely.
bowls, you know, with the moon rocks that flew by, I'm telling you, most of them do not have like the rosin or even resin terpenes from the flower strain that you're smoking. So imagine you got some nice Blue Dream or some Cheetah Piss, and you top that with some Blue Dream or some Cheetah Piss live rosin right off the press. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah, man.
that's
Absolutely.
getting it up there.
One
Absolutely.
thing I've always been curious about is, or well, not necessarily curious, but wondering, but they never show you a strain. Like you'll never see a strain on the Moonrock Ice or really on Moonrocks.
Well,
Like,
somebody
you
was
know,
talking
it's
about
just
that.
Moonrocks,
They
Ice, or
commented
whatever.
that under my video the other day, and I was like, you know what?
Good
That is
point.
definitely true. I always, but then I was saying you always see flavors, right? Like the Disty flavor,
Yeah.
whatever.
I've had some
Like,
CBD moon rocks that 100% talked about like their strain and what was put on top. And again, this is just the focus difference the two industries tend to have over each other.
Yeah.
Because Moonrock, I think the thought process is, I want to get fucked up. That looks kind of fun,
The highest.
Yes.
right? I want
Right.
to get as high
Yep.
as I can, as quick as I can.
Yep.
CBD
You look
Moonrock
cool
is
as
just
possible.
like,
Well, and
you
yep.
might not feel it no matter how much CBD they cake onto there. So the whole
Yep.
experience has to be there.
Well, and what's funny is it used to be called Caviar in just the dispensary days. And then when Dr. Moonrock came out with his dispensary products, that kind of commandeered the term. And you saw a lot of other companies just run with that. And it was funny. I remember I only had it once or twice in the dispensary. But yeah, it's a once in a while. This is a fun experience, a different kind of a thing, not something you want to do every day. Good point the Bud Stash made. You'll destroy your tolerance too. Any tolerance you may think you don't have, you will have if you smoke moon rocks every
Yeah.
day.
Or
Yeah.
even the day after Moonrocks. Your tolerance is going to be a little fucked.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure,
Through
for
smoking
sure. I'm
moon
feeling,
rocks for the day.
I'm
Absolutely.
feeling that right now. I'm feeling that right now,
People
for sure,
aren't
for sure.
aware enough of their tolerance. That's one major issue that I feel like if we address as a community, we can 100% start to address some stigmas better. Because if we can get
For
people
sure.
out there who are like, I smoked a lot last night, that means no, not smoke an extra bowl in the morning if you medicate in the morning as well. That means actually smoke less that morning. Maybe you hit the receptors with some CBD to throw them off or in the opposite direction for a while, but you got to know how to
Yes.
work your tolerance, maintain your
Yes.
tolerance. Because I've
You
seen
gotta
people who
compensate for
pick up
that.
smoking for like
Yes.
pain reasons, and then 6 months later they're like, it just doesn't work. And that's because
Well, and
every day you
yeah.
smoked more than the day before.
Yes. Yep. Well, and it's a balance. It's akin to like photosynthesis, right? Your body is constantly trying to get in the state of photosynthesis and homeostasis, right, where everything is working in balance. Same thing. If you can get yourself to a healthy enough place in life where you have some internal contentment with where you are in your life, and use this plant in a way that's not going to solve your problems but be a bridge to the gap to get you where you want to be, like we've talked about, and kind of maintain that balance of CBD, THC, and kind of the healthy respect that is needed to use the plant properly, you'll be amazed at how little tolerance you'll have. Like, I've been smoking 16 years of my life, and yes, I've had moments, especially when I was younger and would just try to get blitzed or whatever, where I would definitely work up a tolerance. But once you kind of find that balance and emotional balance and internal brain and body balance, I can get ripped off a fucking snap in the morning. Like, I can take one hit, like, I'm fucking great. Holy shit! Especially some good weed,
Sometimes that
for
one
sure.
rip too, you just feel it different than you would 4 rips.
Totally.
And
And
that
yes.
high is just so different that
Yes.
it almost, you feel
Yes.
it more. And what I mean by this is, like, you start getting to rip 5 or 6, your whole body kind of goes numb. All your brain knows at that point is the cannabinoids hitting the receptors. What's kind of fun is the cannabinoids attaching, detaching, running all around your receptors. Like, it's just enough to get it going. Just enough to get it
Absolutely. No, you're so right, dude. It's like that level 1 high, and sometimes I find, like, I'll smoke that first snap in the morning to medicate, and then I'll, like, I'm in my concession mode. I'm down to have another bowl. I'm like, no, wait. And if you just, let's wait 5-10 minutes, and then you get into that first level, you're like, no, this is great. You feel it in kind of, like you said, a different way. You're still aware enough and a kind of a balanced of, you're not super gone, that you're like, oh, I can kind of really feel the way this is, has changed my perception or my mental state or whatever. And it's so true. There's something to be said for not like the micro dosing, but just a snap. Just start with a snap, wake and bake, and then wait a bit and see how it. Some strains take a bit. Don't forget, there's some strains that creep. You may not fully feel until you're half hour into your session. After smoking.
So rare to hear or feel everything at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
A lot kicks
Absolutely.
off in like 15 minutes.
Yep. That's like the strain train wreck for me. It is like clockwork. 10 minutes on the dot. I can smoke a bowl of that, and I will feel next to nothing. I go through this cycle every time I have train wreck where I second guess myself. I'm like, oh shit, it's not that good, and then 10 minutes hits, and it's like smacks
Damn,
me like a
it's
fucking
good.
train every time. Yeah, I'm like, holy crap, it's great. Every time I doubt it, and every time it proves me wrong.
classic edible shit talk.
Mm.
To go.
It's like this isn't
Moon
illegal.
rocks versus ice caps, which is better. I definitely think ice caps is better, but I think maybe moon rocks might be better for like the taste. Because I feel like I don't know.
Moon
That's more
rocks
like
are
that
what you're
natural kinda taste.
expecting.
Yeah.
First,
Yeah.
I think moon rocks are probably what you expect, what you've seen in videos, what you've seen in
Yeah.
reels on Instagram is that nice ooey gooey and coated boulder of cannabis material. That's what you're expecting. Ice caps, 100%, if they are what they're supposed to be, which is isolate powder all over the nug, and the nug is just cut and it can hold it on due to its natural moistness. It holds on all that. That should be better. You're not gonna waste as much or whatever into your flower bowls. There's a lot of benefits to that. Plus the lack of wasted material. Big one.
Oh, for sure.
In the end of the day, I still think you should just probably make your own if you're able to.
Yeah.
You're
Definitely.
able to
Yeah,
either.
way cheaper.
Well, yeah, that's a great point too. I mean, that's something to always keep in mind, and I know it's something we're kind of a narrative we're trying to push and change in the industry. You want to make sure you know where you're getting this stuff from, right? Because it is an unregulated industry in a lot of ways, and you gotta love your body enough to understand what you're putting in it. And to Darius' point, you are interested in the whole moon rock side of things, and I think that best way to do it, yeah, is using the natural moisture of the plant to cling any of that isolate that you want, and go. There are several reputable places you can buy good isolate from. That will, Black Tie is one. I personally enjoy buying isolate from Vivamu. They've never steered me wrong. And I would wonder, yeah, if you took a good nug and some isolate and just stirred it in there, how that would, at least you know where you're getting it. You know you've made it yourself. You can buy flour you trust from a reputable company and buy isolate, and then,
Yeah.
you know what you
Especially some
made.
fresh flour.
Yeah, you
have
got-
like
you
some
can
make
fresh
it
fresh
consistent.
sand, I imagine
Oh,
it'd be perfect,
yeah.
bro.
Absolutely.
And if you can get diamonds cheaper, isolate is just crushed diamonds as far as
Right.
THCA goes. So
You got some
you
time.
grab that and
Mm-hmm.
you do this with a diamond enough on top of the bowl, it'll break up over the bowl. Those things, they break so easy.
Mm-hmm.
They are so
Oh, they
fragile.
pulverize.
There's
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's hard, but it's
You
not.
really,
No.
if you break them, you lose a lot. You lose a lot. I don't know.
You could even take if you had a couple grams of isolate and a decent amount of shake. I did this when I was down to a little bit of my isolate left. Take the shake and put it in the isolate container and just shake the shit out of it, and you'll have the whitest looking shake ever. And that shit'll pack a punch.
that.
I should have done that with my shake that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Pop
So
some
it'll pack
isolate
up.
into it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I always like to have I don't, but I need to re up. But I always like to have a reserve of isolate. Anytime you get a sack and you're like, it's not quite hitting where I want it to be. Little isolate, and it'll make any strain rather nice.
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
exactly. So
Perfect.
let's get into a little bit of news. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. As far as this is a plant and it's national. Every state is having a lot go on. It seems like recently. First of all, shout out on the bright side. New Jersey's going to reach $1 billion in marijuana sales this year.
Dang.
See, that's what a market can do, even when it's not being ran perfectly, guys. A lot of people in New Jersey are driving out of state to buy products in New York, wherever it be. Right now, it's still able to do that. So let's start with the positive note. There's a reason that we're trying to keep pushing. And guys, a reason for everyone to try to make a name for yourself in the industry too is because this is going to be huge, especially if that's a state level. Imagine when we get to a federal level of some sort
No
of
kidding.
realization
Yeah.
that this is all the same thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Definitely.
But there are states that don't understand stuff. Not that New Jersey understands everything. A lot of that is a cash grab, yes. But there are states that don't understand just about anything. Like South Dakota, with its medical program, had put in all these protections for employees so that they could use their cannabis had
Yeah.
they been in the medical marijuana program in that state. Now they've signed bills allowing that anybody who has a job that relates to safety sensitive positions. So if your job is good example is if you're a security guard, but it could go as far as you're managing the finances for people and this but for certain individuals, and if you were to mess up the finances, it would put those people in harm's way. Anytime that people can make an argument that you could put someone into harm's way with the job, they now have a reason to fire you again for marijuana. So
Wow.
they basically signed in a loophole, working in the
Yeah.
opposite, if that makes any sense. So they do
Well, and then
have to prove it.
Right.
Just
How
for
like
safety.
that's crazy. What a vague thing too. Of like, if we deem you could be putting someone in harm's way, it's like, okay, well, you could, if you really want to get in the weeds, you could make that debate about almost any position, unless it's a 100% self-serving one, which is great. That's wild. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like saying you can smoke, but not in any day that ends in Y. It's like we have the appearance of progressive, but then
Yeah, they changed
we've
every
now
word in their legal structures.
wow.
They've taken out
That's
anything
wild.
that can be seen as discriminatory in the legal structure. But now, if your job relates to the safety of yourself or others, that is ample reason for them to not allow for you
Wow.
to smoke weed. Guys, we know how THCA became a thing with how laws work. Like, does this make sense to an extent when you're thinking about it on surface level? Yes. But how did we get THCA? They signed it in a farm bill to allow people to go make clothes out of hemp, and now all of a sudden we're smoking hemp
Right.
in the mail. That is the equivalent of our dispensary.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. I wonder like, if they were a little more specific, I could see it in certain instances, depending on what your job is, right? Of course, but
Yeah?
yeah, it's like basically what I hear is only entrepreneurs can smoke if you work for yourself, because otherwise, if as long as you have a boss that can interpret your position as deemingly affecting others in some way, which every position would be that way unless you solely work for yourself with no customer base and your business only serves you. But at least if you're your own boss, then you don't have to worry about it. But it's like anyone that works for anyone in the corporate space then now has another reason to fire you. So it's essentially they created the progressive reform and then said, well, it's actually going to really only apply if you work for yourself, because if you have a boss and you're in the working space,
They now have a reason that
Yeah.
they'll
We have a
slowly
reason
try
again.
to steer it
Wow.
to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
crazy.
So we'll see how some of the initial interpretations of that end up in the state courts, because that's going to be the only thing that truly dictates what the words I'm reading would mean. Again, not a lawyer, so if anybody wants to go read the actual bill in detail and try to pick it apart a bit, I would love that, because it gave some examples. For example, security guards, security personnel, etc. But then it started talking about finance positions, and that's where it lost me, because that example of left field in my opinion.
no, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like
That's
New
so
York
wild.
went in the right direction this time.
Mm.
Since last week, New York regulators approved rules allowing for home grow to start. Most
Hell
important
yeah.
thing that this is the same state that has. Last time we talked about New York, it was, I mean, a couple times ago, we were like, wow, they have these farmers markets where the farms can sell to the people. That was awesome. And then they got really mad because those farmers markets were very successful and they had no way to truly regulate them, which is what they should have saw happening when they approved something of that.
Right? How can you not
Sorry.
foresee that?
Yeah,
Like-
but regardless, amid this rocky start, they've gone forward and they've allowed for home grows to start. They've actually
That's
approved business licenses after having like a pause on approving business licenses. So, let's see.
I think that's going to be the saving grace of any potential bad legislation. If we can just ensure that they protect the right to grow in your own home, it's like, then most other thing, it's, depending on the regulation, slippery slope, of course. It's like, at least at the end of the day, if you could grow in your own house, you have some own control of your medicine if you need to,
And that's
know?
where the education for the plant starts. So, I hate to. I'm gonna try not to make any direct parallels because public forum right here. But there's many other industries where if you don't educate children, don't see the whole process. They don't understand what truly is. They can see it as something so far wrong when they tend to grow up. Thought process I have is, I mean, just the way I view firearms versus some of my friends, I think has a lot to do with the fact that my dad not only showed me his growing up, taught me how to shoot, taught me how to respect the firearm, taught me what the tool was truly used for. A lot of lessons. With weed, not that you should be walking your child into your grow tent every day, but the fact that they know it's a literal plant that grows from soil, just like your herb garden on the deck, just like the tomatoes in the backyard. This is no different except for the use case.
Absolutely.
It takes part of the education away because it makes it very real life.
Exactly.
Absolutely, and it takes some of the stigma away, because if you have a organic introduction to something like that, we've talked about this before. Then when those children grow up and they're around their peers who did not grow up that way, and they're having to go behind the school at 10 a.m. to smoke a bowl or go to a buddy's house, that child will be like, that's like saying, "Hey, do you want to go behind the school and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some salad?" It's like, what? It's just, this is no. Why would you? That seems odd. Why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's so true. It's like you have, when you have that organic introduction into that, and like you said, Jerry, yeah,
But
you're
it's
not going to
funny,
bring your
because
3-year-old into your
schools
grow
ban-
room.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like on the funniest end of how the human brain works on that, though, they banned peanut butter in a lot of schools. Do you know how many times kids actually sneak into the bathroom and stuff, dumbass shit, to eat Reese's? I hear these stupid stories from my niece's nephews. It's just like, because they're not allowed to eat peanut butter in front of any of the staff there, they go and they eat their Reese's peanut butter cups or their peanut butter sandwich their mom accidentally packed them out of sight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bro,
And you
what
see,
is this?
if
What
anything,
is this, bro? Where is this at? Why is that even a thing?
you see it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It
You see,
just-
with anything, it's
Is
like
it somebody just with peanut allergies or something? Is it like an increase of peanut allergies in the world or something? Like, what is happening?
It's because you don't know who's going to be allergic around you, so they don't want you to accidentally kill the other kid in the classroom by whipping your peanut butter sandwich
which
out.
is hilarious, because depending on if those kids had peanut butter when in infancy, it's like early age, if you ingest peanut butter, it will help protect against a peanut allergy. So they're actually potentially inducing the very thing they're trying to prevent by preventing anyone there from having peanut butter. Like when you
Bro, like you gotta build an immunity, bro. If
exactly,
you
when
ain't
you
never
have
got
a
bit by
baby, you start
mosquito in your
feeding them
life,
peanut
if
butter
you
when
went
they're
outside
allowed to
getting
have
bit by
it.
mosquito,
Yes.
if you went
Interesting.
20 years of your life getting bit without no mosquito bite you, you
Mhm.
go get bit by a mosquito, you're at the hospital probably.
Yeah, if you
Off
do,
of a little
yeah,
skeeter.
I forget
Off a
the
little skeeter.
yes, yep.
We knocking them off.
Yeah, yep.
it-
It's like, I forget the exact percentage, but there is a large percent where if the child was not exposed to having peanut butter in infancy, there's an however X more likely chance for them to develop a peanut allergy than kids that you have peanut butter when they're little. So it's like, okay, you're gonna just prevent your kids from having peanut butter on a mass scale at your fucking school. Then if they didn't have it in infancy, then okay, you're just gonna, the ones that have the allergy now, it's
That's
just gonna
so
fucking
funny.
yeah.
Now that I like brought up this story, I'm just picturing in one stall there's two kids like sharing a pack of Reese's. The next stall,
You wanna
over,
grab this
there's
shit? You
the
wanna eat this
two
shit?
kids
Got like a
that
king
are-
size pack. All right, bro. I got 2. You got 2. Let's hurry up.
Hurry up, teacher! Only let us go for 5 minutes. We got to be back, quick!
You got the Italian kid with the trench coat. Hey, I got double
Bro.
stuffed. I got large. I got white chocolate, dark chocolate. Oh, what do you
What?
want? I
It's
got it
just
all.
probably inside of their hoodies trying to eat peanut butter PB&Js and shit. Like what? Cuz this is not okay. You got people eating them hoes in the stalls, bro.
Hugging.
Yeah,
sleeves.
right. Yeah.
Going in
Yeah.
the bathroom to eat a PB&J.
Point was being
That's
you make it so
sick.
you can't do something. All of a sudden, that something's cool.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
That's
You know.
Oh, God, it's
so
probably
true.
just on Snapchat,
cool. These kids are
PB&J.
like, no, yeah, they're probably flexing the Reese's on the Snapchat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
stories.
saying.
Yeah.
It's probably on
$4 a
Snapchat,
pack.
like,
Like,
PB&J.
bro, I got
Ah,
the
I
extra
bet y'all
size.
ain't got one. Y'all scared.
This got so much peanut butter in it. You don't even get it, bro.
Or like, and then like if they get their mom to buy it on Amazon Prime, like, yo, my mom is my hook. It's like, check it out, new drop. There's like 4 at the door. Fucking hilarious.
Extra crunchy.
Extra crunchy.
what?
My mom is my
with the
plug, bro.
caramel.
He's like,
Hilarious.
as much
bro,
as I
they
love
probably
the
flipping
plant,
they
though.
probably flipping sandwiches and shit.
To flip
The extra crunchy, the za, that's that 15 a G. You feel? You know what I'm saying?
To flip it back, though, like, we make, as much as I love the plant, we start addressing the stigma. We stop making it such a strange thing, such an evil thing.
Yep.
That people view it as, and we start just putting in the light of it's something that's there. Kids won't gravitate it to the same. There will still be some that go out there and do it, but I guarantee we can see that statistic go down drastically. At least that's what happens in the countries that have legalized it on a national basis. They see the youth use it less because let's
We've
be
even
honest,
seen that in
between
studies here.
alcohol and between marijuana. As a kid, marijuana is kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. Even me growing up, half the fun was the anxiety that was induced because it was so illegal to do it at the time period.
For sure. There's an absolute
Rental,
element
like,
about
got
that.
into the room. And be
Yes.
Like, bro, let's go ahead and
Oh,
hurry up and
challenge
smoke a lot of
accepted. How high can I be around my parents? I can't tell you how many times we went through that
That
cycle.
was not
Absolutely.
a fun game.
I loved playing that game. There was a whole element to. I just got good at it, which is why. But there's a whole element to, which is still what blows my mind. Is now I get blitzed with my dad all the time. Blows my mind. But anyways, it's so funny because you're right. It's like there is this stigma, and it's like a lot of things. You know, if you start to expose those stigmas, and yes, can you have that one dude that just wants to get fucking blitzed and take 25 blinkers to the dome? Yeah, there's gonna be those people because that's people. Okay, it's not the product.
Some people were.
Some people are gonna do that, right? Well, that's okay, to each their own. But the product, it is a medicine. It has helped a tremendous amount of people in a vast amount of ways, and especially breaking the stigma that it is somehow anti-productive or just makes you lazy, right? It's like that.
Yeah.
I think there are several use cases where that is challenged heavily, and when you
use
do
it
that,
to
like
relax, and I think some
Exactly.
people become addicted to relaxing.
absolutely, and there is, I think, what
Can't be like that all the time.
the danger is, it's how it's utilized, right? And if there is a person who, in my opinion, what cannabis does for me for depression and anxiety, sometimes with depression and anxiety, I will get stuck in this mental loop that I can't get myself out of if I'm just stone cold sober. And cannabis pauses that for me long enough to kind of step outside of myself and be like, okay, is this like, is what I'm thinking about true? I need to do something about this. Is this just like a mood? Is this a thing that's happening? And it makes your kind of current situation feel okay enough to, if you need to do something about it, you're not stuck in the thought loop of, oh my God, my situation is not okay. But the danger in that is if you are the kind of person who, once you feel like your situation is okay, doesn't want to make a change,
Start getting.
you're
used-
just gonna be treading water. You're gonna be, spinning your wheels and then wonder why you're not making any progression towards the things that you want. It's because you're only doing half of the equation. The first part, yeah, you got to feel okay enough about your situation. We're not gonna, guilt trip yourself into a depressive
Enjoy
hole
the journey too.
and do something about it.
It can be so fun and useful for enjoying the journey, especially for ambitious people. There's those tough nights you get home after working so many hours and you're like, crap, now I just got to go back to grinding because I got to go build these 3 things. That can be a very tiring process where we talked about burning out right there. You can get yourself to burn out. Now imagine you just smoke and some of that process becomes fun now when you're creating the project.
Absolutely.
It's a powerful tool.
Yes. It can. I think the closest thing that human beings have to a superpower is our perspective, because it can literally change how you view your material world. And cannabis is fantastic at changing your perspective, and that is, I think, what is so powerful about it. Like you said, you can be in this mindset of the daily grind, or I have to do this, I do this, I do this. and it changes that in a way where you at least for me, I pause, I slow down, I'm more I appreciate things more, I value things more, I'm more self-reflective, but not in a self-deprecatory way, but one that's more productive. Like it's there are so many ways to psychologically utilize this plant and physically utilize this plant, right? It can
Yeah.
help extend workouts, stamina, things like that. It does a ton of things, but on the other side of that, it doesn't cure everything. It's not the end solution for all things, right? And there's people that try to portray that as well, but it can help you and get to
Think
where you want
about
to
it,
be
like
in so many ways.
the
So many benefits
nootropic
for sure.
industry, like, right? People combine 5, 6 different supplements, 5, 6 different herbs to get a desired effect. This herb does a little bit of this, but its side effects are XYZ. So I take this herb to make me more motivated because that one, yes, helps
Mhm.
my memory, but makes me not want to do things. So these three help me make me want to do things. Start using cannabis as a tool and adding it to some of these stacks. I've been doing that, and it brings a whole creative element. It can bring a level of focus on the sativa end. I mean, even
Mhm.
a little bit of couch lock, if you take that with a couple stimulating herbs, will make you
Yes.
sit in your chair. And if you have ADHD and restless leg syndrome and stuff, the fact that you're just sitting there still, but still wired in and focused is quite a feeling. There are ways, yeah, to use it as a tool, to use it as a
Mhm.
nootropic. Like this thing can help you
Absolutely.
do more, help your brain
Absolutely.
accomplish more. Sometimes you gotta
Absolutely.
stack it,
Yep.
or sometimes
No,
you
for
gotta
sure.
not smoke as much as you want.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Well,
you're
and
saying,
it's,
like bowl
it's
after bowl after bowl.
absolutely,
Sometimes you just
yeah, it's,
chill out.
it is a tool, it's like if you take a hammer, right, and you try to use that to, you know, uh, cook an egg with, good luck, right? If you use it to hammer in a nail, it's going to work much in the same way. Try to use a rubber spatula to hammer in a nail. When it is utilized properly, it can be of tremendous benefit. It
yeah,
really can.
yep, yep, yep. Oh, so two
Do you want
days
to transition
ago,
into?
I
We got it. Go ahead,
true,
Trace.
true,
Sorry.
true. Just the big story we didn't quite get to because we had some good conversations. Kamala Harris, like the vice president, right, of the country. She's kind of a big deal. She was reaching out to, and we found out because these people came forward and said so, marijuana pardon recipients when the administration went through some of those pardons they did earlier in the year. The fact that she's doing so has revealed the fact that they are talking legalization on a federal level with the staff, and they're trying to get the input from these pardon recipients. So
Interesting.
obviously we can't hear the whole conversation, but this is quite interesting. They're coming to the end of their term,
Yeah. Right in time for the election season.
right in
You
time for
know.
the election season. But in other elections, you don't usually. I mean, historically, we haven't seen people. I mean, there haven't been marijuana pardon recipients before,
Mm-mm.
but this is the first time somebody actually, pardoned them and then actually went up and talked to them too. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's wild.
um,
I wonder if they'll if they'll continue to kind of run with that as a like we can accomplish this, but in 2025. So that's why we need to win the election because then we are going to do this on a federal level, kind of a thing. I wonder how much of that will be their anchor point of their campaign.
Definitely keep it going.
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, they have been talking about more pardons. They want the descheduling of the plant, which is an
Yeah.
interesting take, to be honest.
Yes.
As well as a few other things. But it's also the first time that a politician supposedly talked about descheduling the plant, everybody, which is an interesting stance. And yes, I wouldn't say go vote for your politicians based on what they would do with cannabis, because that would be
Yeah, don't do that.
that would be an interesting reason to choose your candidates
Yeah,
and your
right.
votes. But
Can take it into consideration though.
you can take
for
it into
sure.
consideration. It
Definitely.
could be a part of it. And the fact that they're
Of
talking
course.
about descheduling it, this administration, is quite interesting because we have people
That is
talking about
wild.
making it, rescheduling it, putting it as a different
Yeah.
point on the medical charts. But I think what this discovers is that it's hard to argue this isn't a supplement, if anything.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about on a few other podcasts. Reason being is, yes, supplements can change how you feel, but there's nothing in this that quite makes it medicine. As much as it can have medical properties and applications, the plant itself. Regardless, it's going to be an interesting time frame because this puts it more into the category of any supplement could have cannabinoids in it, as well as
True.
yeah, so we could start seeing some really cool THCV, CBDV type supplements take off in the weight loss and energy industry. We could start seeing some other interesting habits. CVS will change forever. Walgreens will change forever, people. Like
You kind of already see like some things like not creatine, but caffeine. They
Yeah,
try to
right.
do stuff
Exactly.
like
You could
with
do that.
THC, so.
You'd see probably
For real,
companies like
THC coffee or something. That
um,
would be crazy.
oh yeah, you'd probably see companies like On It and stuff add that into their Alpha Brain, and you know what I mean. You'd see
yeah.
for sure.
A lot
Absolutely.
of very cool things could emerge from the being descheduled, but this could also just mean that the perception of this product is it's more like alcohol, another unscheduled, descheduled substance.
True.
Which is not have any positive.
No, that's where the work on our part comes in to keep that narrative. If it got to that
Correct.
point where it's descheduled, yeah, it's descheduled because it's more akin to ashwagandha than it is to Coors Light. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, it can relax you like Coors Night at the end of the night, but
Right,
it's not going to
right.
damage your morning the day after.
No, exactly. It's not a depressant. It's not gonna dehydrate you. It's not gonna the list of things that alcohol will do.
I think I'm stalling the giveaway by talking about this last thing, guys. But it was,
You're good.
Kamala Harris. She's kind of like the vice president of the
No,
country.
absolutely. Well, and then one other thing we said we would touch on real quick, the Handcrafted Farmers, y'all, they did just drop a brand new drop of, I think, 6 different flowers. Okay, there's some at $7 a gram. There's a shake blend at it's an ounce for $18.50, and then they also have the bottom barrel nugs, which is $18.50 for, I think, 5 grams. So you heard it here first. They sell out so fast. I personally haven't tried them, but I've heard nothing but good things, and I have some coming. But Ganja Bear,
You heard
NC,
it for me.
y'all,
They're the top of the game.
you heard it
They're
here.
definitely good.
You heard it here. So now, without further ado, let me share my screen because we about to give away a press, you guys.
So,
And I'm freaking stoked. This was awesome. We had quite a few entries. First off,
Like one of those
Just wanna say
things
much
that
love
you
to all
can
of you that
make.
subbed. I appreciate you guys. That's amazing. We hit 500, and always humbled. I don't take myself too seriously. I just do this as a passion of mine, and it's humbling any sub that I get. So I am
is a
stoked to
level up.
finally be able to give back in this way. I've wanted to do this since I started the channel, before I even had a press for myself. So I'm stalling a second to build hype, but here we go.
This is like
Let's see
double
who's
the
gonna win the
normal
prize.
entries almost.
I know.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Let's see who gets it. Here we go.
Good luck.
Wow, we spun that quick. We could have built up more hype.
I know.
For real.
No way. Is it going to be Ganja Squatch?
Ganja
Ganja
Squatch
Squatch.
won the press. NC, you were so close, homie.
I know,
Holy cow.
right?
This is
there.
Ganja
All right.
Squatch.
Faded.
Ganja
Congratulations, man.
Squatch, congrats, my friend. I will get with you on the side for shipping info and all that, homie G. But congratulations. You'll have to let us know some dabs you're gonna make. Let us know how you like it. But we appreciate you, man.
Sure.
So
It's crazy.
you guys stay tuned. We got future giveaways coming too. That even better. We got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it
planned,
doesn't
so.
stop there, guys.
Even
Definitely
better
get
than
to
a press. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we can.
But yes,
do y'all
no,
want to?
literally.
Do you want to announce the one we talked about offline for next week? I'm down to do it if we want to announce it.
For next week.
The
I mean,
the tech, the piece of tech
Oh yeah.
we talked about.
I'm
Yeah.
down if you're down.
Yeah, I'm down
Sure.
because I'll do. Okay, y'all. So we one of the things that we really want to do. This is the joint effort, right? And that the fundamental aspect of that is community, right? And so we are all about helping each other out here. And if there is anyone in the community that maybe has wanted to get their foot in the door in content creation, or just maybe an entrepreneurial endeavor, or just something, and maybe don't have the means to get some equipment that they need to maybe get started, we wanted to help you guys with that. So next Sunday, we're going to be giving away a MacBook Air. Totally, it'll be shipped. It's like 2-day shipping. It's just kind of again another way to give back. We're gonna have giveaways every week, but we wanted to do something that's not necessarily hemp product, but something that may help you in a slightly different way if you're looking to get your foot in the ground. As we're all about that. It's again the joint effort. So next week we'll post the question in later today, as we always do, but we will be giving away a MacBook Air on the podcast. So stay
I think
tuned.
there's a fair stipulation that it should be an easy 30 entry
Yeah, right.
giveaway, guy. Like this
If
should
you haven't entered the
easily
giveaway-
get to 30 entries.
Easily.
You got to enter in that giveaway if you want to win a MacBook Air.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. So
See 10 people
we'll be
watching,
doing more.
10 entries, then we got all the other people in the Discord.
I want to see how more people trying to win a press. Like what, bro?
I mean, yeah, the press was nice. It did double the entries. I could have said 40 and said, let's double it again.
Yeah,
But,
right.
you know, let's get at least
Yeah.
30 entries up in here, guys. Get your friends, get your moms, get your sisters, your brothers, your uncles, your aunts. Like, they
Yeah.
could all probably use one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We all need them
Absolutely.
all in the Discord.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Get in here.
Your dog's
gonna
not
do.
allowed to enter, though, guys. Dogs
Yeah,
cannot
no.
use
All right.
computers. But your moms, your aunts, your uncles, they,
Yes, as long as you meet all the guidelines to join the community, you are welcome to enter the giveaway. Absolutely, get on in here, for sure. Absolutely, y'all.
Hey.
That's what we're all about. Again, it makes it's what we do. I'm a firm believer in that. We stick by our values. We don't just call ourselves a joint effort because it's a great title. No, we mean that. We did it for a reason, and so we're not gonna get anywhere without helping out the community. So that's what we're
You
all
see it
about.
this
Sure.
week.
The
Just for that
community
press
don't
right
want to
there.
help us.
100%. That is so true. Absolutely. Y'all are amazing.
It has been a crazy year, though. So
Oh,
far,
yeah.
you know?
It really has.
Definitely.
We,
Yes, sir. It really has been.
reflecting on
And
it, I
I've-
don't think we've been this active before, really, up server-wise. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
server's always popping. There's always people chatting in it. Like, the text chats have literally been busy since this year has started. The voice
Definitely.
chats, of course, have always kind of been busy, you know, smoke session.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good reason
Yeah.
that the server like had that and it works like type thing. And now we're launching some other things. So back on the whole, like if you want to start getting your foot in the door, maybe get into content creation. First of all, chatting with net giveaway. Second of all, ask about the mastermind group once you get into the Discord. You can get a bunch of extra resources, some people helping you out. There's that weekly event. Some other weekly events are going to be starting soon. You know, just a lot of stuff to get involved in.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Double
Yeah, we
check
got a
the
lot of stuff on
video.
the horizon.
Discord link is right there in the description. So if you haven't hopped over, it's pretty simple. You just click the thing. Otherwise,
Definitely join that Discord. And definitely
Mhm.
stay tuned for all those giveaways.
Yep. 2024 about to be a big year, y'all. We got some big plans in the works that we can't wait to share with you guys. But it's joint effort's gonna take this year by storm. I'll tell you that.
Can't
That's
wait.
good. Contraband.
Man, already.
Gonna sign
Gondra,
off,
hit us with the
Contraband?
outro.
Huh?
You gonna sign us off, bro?
Man. Like everybody had a good Sunday. Not gonna lie. A little bit too fried to be doing this outro, but I got asked to do it, so I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody had a nice time kicking it with the joint effort. Maybe learned a little something that you ain't know before, because that's what it's all about. Waking up and learning something new, doing something new, smoking something new, whatever it is. You feel me? All about new experiences. But I hope everybody had a great, tremendous Sunday. Gone to Squatch. Congratulations. That's wild as hell. You just
Congrats.
want a free ass press, bro. Free press. But hey, peace,
Yeah, it's so
everybody.
wild.
We'll see y'all next Sunday.
This
Peace.
is